Atkins. Crawford.
Here.
Deppert.
Here.
Mark Goddard.
Here.
Sam Goddard. Graff.
Here.
Hall.
Here.
Harris.
Here.
Hopkins. Josting.
Here.
Longfellow. Mennel.
Here.
Mingus.
Here.
Nelms. Paget. Frail. Rich Stimson. Schmickdahl. Schneider.
Here.
Sen.
Here.
Saul.
Here.
Chairman Zimmerman. You have one.
Thank you. Is there any public comment tonight? Moving on then, I first off need to start with an apology. For those of you who were here last year, I brought candy. I forgot all about it. Didn't even consider it. So Tammy walked in the door, where's candy? So, oh well, sorry. Trick or treat, yeah. This is the trick one, Tammy. So may pay back for that, but remember, I'm here as long as you are, so. Okay, so we're gonna tackle the entire budget tonight. I hope we go quickly, but we need to talk about everything that's in the budget. We don't have a choice tonight. It's not one of those things we can table or postpone or not approve. We have to leave tonight's meeting with a budget. That's one of our statutory responsibilities. And last year it took us till 11:30. I hope it doesn't take that long tonight, but we'll see what we can do. This is actually the 6th time that some county board member has had a chance to review this budget. If you what we call back in August, the individual county board members on the finance committee were assigned to particular departments to review their budgets. That was done. We had 3 budget subcommittee meetings. That happened. We had the full budget hearing earlier this month. That has happened, and we're here to finally approve this tonight. So that's what I hope we can accomplish. My first question to the board is, at the tentative budget, I went through all the general fund departments individually, giving everyone the time to ask specific questions about those general fund budgets. Do you want me to do that again tonight, or do we want to tackle the general fund as a whole? As a whole, I'm hearing as a whole. Anyone object to that? Mr. Crawford, are you raising your eyebrows in disgust?
I was preparing these documents and I wasn't listening. I apologize.
Well, then you're fine.
That's fine. You snooze, you lose.
Snooze, you lose. Okay. So, can I get a motion to get the general fund budget on the floor? Mr. Schneider, Mr. Hall. There is a handout in your sheet, in your packet rather, and I've lost mine. Here it is. We need to make some amendments, and they're to the courts, county administration, information technology, building administration, and county general. And Mrs. Darcy, would you please briefly cover those?
Sure, thank you. Okay, so we do have just a handful of amendments to the budget that we're proposing tonight. If you look at courts up first, we do have a $10,000 increase in legal services, and also right below that is a $1,000 increase in electronic monitoring, and then just below that is a $4,000 increase to interpreter fees. And all of those are related to just the volume of individuals that are heading through the court system currently. I did talk with Trish Richmond and also Judge Dostotch, just looking at their budget for fiscal year 24 and any kind of budget transfers that we would need to do for the end of fiscal year 24. And there's a couple of lines that stood out as maybe we should look at what you have budgeted for 25, might need just a little bit more funds in there. So they went back, looked at their budget, and then proposed these adjustments, and then you'll see some for drug court on the next page. And so that's what precipitated this. They just looked at their budget and saw that where they might end up in a little bit of a shortfall in fiscal year 25. Then the next 2 items are $750 increases for both registration fees and travel, and that's just, again, looking at what is in their budget and thinking that they might need a little bit more money as some of these things are rising. And does anyone have any question on any of those?
Mr. Hopkins, can I get a we'll just do these in pieces. So can I get a motion to amend the court's budget by those as listed? Mr. Crawford, Mrs. Preo, go ahead, Mr. Hopkins.
Not specific to the amounts, but just a general question about the translator. Are we still using individuals? Are we using app for that? I know there's some really good apps that.
Currently, we are using individuals that we pay for those services.
Mr. Holly, I believe is that required by the courts to actually use we can't use an app, we have to use an individual, is that correct?
I believe that is correct, and that I think would be the best practice based on ensuring that everybody's rights are taken care of, and we have the ability to make sure that people are communicating the way that they should, and we're getting that on the record.
Other questions on the courts? All in favor of those amendments, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Mr. Goddard, so noted. Motion carries. County administration, I suppose I should do this the right way. Can I get a motion to get county administration amendment on the floor? By Mr. Stahl, Mr. Longfellow, go ahead.
Okay, so this one is just increasing contingency of $8,058. And this is just reflecting all of the expenses that we are increasing in the general fund and then the required contingency increase due to that.
Other questions? Mr. Crawford?
So does that mean the new total is the new 5% like it used to be?
Say that again, sorry.
Is the total amount of the revised figure 5%?
Yes.
Thank you.
Other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Can I get a motion to get item on page 134, information technology amendment on the floor? Rich Stimson, Hopkins, go ahead.
This is requesting a $42,000 increase in the software maintenance budget in IT. And this is due to the CAMA software as we went out for bid last year or this current year for CAMA software, and at this point it's just rolling out a little slower than anticipated, so we're moving that cost that would have been paid in fiscal year 24 to fiscal year 25.
Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Can I get a motion to get county general amendments on the floor? Mr. Crawford, Ms. Preo, go ahead.
Okay, for building administration, is that what you were referring to?
Yes, I'm sorry, it's building administration.
Okay.
Yes.
So for building administration, we are requesting a $1,221 increase in software maintenance, and related to that, a $44,806 increase in software. And this is due to the purchase of the facilities management software that is going to be used by Mike Shoney and his department. This is similar to the CAMA system. We went out for bid for that system in fiscal year 24, and we are going to be fully implementing that in fiscal year 25, so it's just a roll forward of cost.
Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion to get county general amendments on the floor? Mr. Mendo, Mr. Stahl.
Okay, so for the county general unassigned area, we do have an increase in rental income line. This is the only revenue line that's listed as a proposed budget adjustment in the general fund. We are increasing, or I guess just adding, revenue of $37,400. This is related to the Carl lease for the new facility at 1800 Broadway. We are once that MOU was really figured out, we went ahead and added this rental income to the general fund. The lease will begin on January 1st.
Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, then the next expense line, I have two expense lines there. One is facility cost reimbursement. We have a $12,000 increase or creation of that line. That is a new line in fiscal year 25, and that is also related to the MOU for the health department. And that one is just in the agreement that the MOU, the county general is going to reimburse 25% of certain specified costs that are listed in the MOU. These are things like utilities, pest control, landscape, snow removal. And so the county general will reimburse those costs, 25% of them, to the health department on a quarterly basis. Okay. And then lastly, we have a increase of $43,907 in the transfer to CIP fund line. And this is due to a change in the CIP fund, which I will explain in more detail. Basically, we are, again, moving some expenses from fiscal year 24 to fiscal year 25, and that results in needing to increase the contingency on the CIP fund, which results in an additional transfer to the CIP fund from the general fund.
And I had intended to include those in the motion. That was what the motion said. Does anybody have any questions or any difficulty with those included in this last motion? Okay, thank you. Moving on into specific discussion of the general fund, just to call your attention to page 59, that's the income portion of the general fund. Questions, concerns? Mr. Harris. I'm sorry?
Maybe behind, but this last sheet, all the adjustments we just made.
We're not to that department yet. Those are the special fund adjustments, Mike.
No, I mean the motions we're just going through. We went through general fund, county administration, information technology, building and restoration. All those dollars we're adding or decreasing the budget or rolling money over. And my two questions are, number one, will we see the results of what happened in 2024 on who made, we're putting budgets out, but I've never seen how it came out, if they were under budget or over budget on any department, any line item. I know we have an excellent accounting department right now, and that's, I guess, a request that we see that information in first part of this year. So that, we're making all these adjustments and they're saying do to this and do to that. I like to see what happens. And the second question is, let me see if I get my brain over it. The $24 we're rolling over to 25. We're rolling the projects. Are we rolling dollars over too?
Which one is the 24? Oh, okay, yes. When we, so for the general fund, when we're rolling a project from fiscal year 24 to 25, we are just telling the board that we're not going to spend that money in fiscal year 24. We're going to spend that in 25, and those funds will not be spent. However, when we get to the CIP fund, I'm going to show you it a little bit differently because it's a little more entailed. So you'll see maybe an illustration of how that will work, again, a little differently in the CIP fund. Regarding results, your budget book does contain up-to-date information as of whatever date, like this is the last time we pulled information. So this last information in your budget book is current as of August 31st, so it is at this point a little behind. And yes, after our audits are complete, you should be presented once final budget final audit adjustments are in, you should get financial statements.
Okay, good. But back to the rollover from 24 to 25, the dollars. You got 44,806 in the building administration budget. So you're going to transfer the money to 25. That's going to be a decrease in the 24 budget.
Yes, technically what we're saying, I didn't put it through in the general fund this way. I could do a reduction in our estimated expenditures for fiscal year 24, but I didn't do that in this particular case just because it doesn't affect anything else, it's relatively small dollars for this budget, we're not going to spend it. But I will show you how it does illustrate out in the CIP fund where it does have more impact. But we did not do that, I did not do that in the general fund.
Is that it, Mike? Okay. Oh, sorry, Mr. Crawford.
Mike, if I say something that's not true because you changed a bunch of stuff, correct me. The way we've always done it, Mike, is we don't roll money from FY '24 to FY '25. If we don't spend money that was budgeted or appropriated in fiscal year '24, it simply remains unexpended. And that money stays with the treasurer's office in investments, and it's carryover. So it helps pay bills for Tazewell County before the first installment of property taxes in June comes in. That's the way that works. And then for FY '25, it's the process that we're doing tonight, where we simply appropriate money for the ensuing fiscal year. So really, there's not a big deal between a rollover or anything like that between one fiscal year and the next fiscal year. It just stops, and then we do it again for the ensuing fiscal year. Thanks.
Question, what, we roll it, we put it in a fund, it goes into a fund that is not earmarked, and something comes up and we spend it for something else, but it's in the budget for next year. And the new item wasn't budgeted.
So any money that we don't spend, and there will be a whole bunch of items that we have budgeted for fiscal year '24 that we actually will not spend fully. We might have office supplies that we have budgeted for $10,000, we only spend $8,000. That extra $2,000 just remains in the fund balance in the fund in which it was budgeted. So it isn't that it like disappears or goes somewhere else, it just remains in that beginning fund balance, which is why we do an estimated fiscal year '24, what we think we're gonna get in revenue, what we think we're gonna get in expense, because at this point we're really just having to use, based off of information that we have, what do we think we're gonna spend, what do we think we're gonna bring in, and it's really is just kind of a guess. It's an educated guess, but it isn't necessarily 100% going to be correct. But anything that, say we're off, if we spend a little more, spend a little less, whatever is left over will just remain in the fund balance and just roll into as the beginning fund balance in the next year. And you can see that in your budget book. You see ending fund balance of one year becomes the beginning fund balance of the next year. So that money just stays right within that fund and goes towards expenditures of the next year.
Mr. Hopkins?
Just making sure I am understanding it as well, and I think your in part of your question there, if a new expense comes up, that then comes out of contingency. Is that right? That we hadn't budgeted for, and then there's a new expense, it doesn't just get pulled from somewhere else. I think that was the in part of what you were saying.
Mr. Crawford?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons we have a county auditor. If there is no authorization for an expenditure, or insufficient funds in a line item, or about 7 different things I won't go into, then the county auditor flags that and he recommends non-payment to the county board. It doesn't happen very often. What we usually do to fix that is we'll want to spend some money for something, and if it's not, if it's budgeted, we'll take it out of the right line item. But if it's not budgeted, and sometimes that happens, then what we do is we transfer that from the contingent, because the money wasn't budgeted or appropriated for the next year, and we put it in a brand new line item that is for that particular expenditure that we want. Does that make sense? Thanks.
Other questions? Well, just to reply to Mr. Harris, and for the new members on the board, the budget book, because he was asking about questions about seeing what lines came in, the budget book has the actual from 2021, the actual from 2023, the budget from 2023, what the actual was, so you can compare numbers, and the 24 budget and what we think the 24 budget's going to be. So all of that historical data is in those books that you get every year, that you can go drill down to a particular line item if you so choose to do that. Other questions? Okay, so we've approved the general fund amendments. Go back to where I was just a minute ago. I'm gonna go through the general fund real quick now. Page 59 has the income. Are there questions about the income? Okay, starting at circuit clerk and going all the way to county general. That's these pages here. Are there questions or concerns? Hearing none, the motion on the floor is to approve the county general fund as amended. Is there any further discussion?
Yes. Roll call.
Okay, we have to do a roll call on most every vote we take tonight, so this will be a roll call vote.
Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Aye.
Mark Goddard.
Nay.
Sam Goddard. Graff.
Yes.
Hall.
Aye.
Harris.
Aye.
Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nelms.
Yes.
Pageant. Creel. Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sen.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Motion passes.
Well, the big part's done. Okay. What? Yeah, can we, that's a good point. Can you give us the revised totals for the general fund as we just approved it?
Total expenditures for the general fund, there are $50,429,852, and that's after contingency and after everyone transfers.
But get that, would you repeat it again one more time?
$50,429,852.
So 50,429,852. Everybody good? Can I get a motion to get, so we're in the special revenue funds now. I have a rep on the floor. Ms. Crawford, Ms. Stimson, questions? Call roll.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Nay.
Sam Goddard. Graff.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Harris. Hopkins.
Yes.
Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus. Nelms.
Yes.
Pageant. Creel.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Snyder.
Yes.
Sen.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Can I get a motion to get Social Security on the floor? Snyder, Hopkins, I'm sorry I didn't say this before, we're on page 175, so those are following along in the orange books, they can follow along. Any questions or concerns? Call roll.
Mark Goddard.
Nay.
Sam Goddard. Graff.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Harris. Hopkins. Josting. Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nelms.
Yes.
Pageant. Creel.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sen.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Can I get a motion on page 178, Health Internal Services on the floor? By Hall, second by Nels. Discussion. Call roll.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris. Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus. Nels. Pageant. Prayer.
Yes.
Rich Stinson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Aye.
Mark Goddard.
Nay.
Motion passes.
Page 182, Township Bridge. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Mr. Mennel, Mr. Longfellow. Discussion. Call roll.
Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nels.
Yes.
Pageant. Prayer.
Yes.
Rich Stinson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Nay.
Sam Goddard. Motion passes.
Page 185, County Highway. Can I get a motion to get that one on the floor? Mr. Mennel, Mr. Schneider. Questions? Call roll.
Hall.
Yes.
Harris. Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nels.
Yes.
Pageant. Prayer.
Yes.
Rich Stinson.
Yep.
Schmidtall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Nay.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Motion passes.
Can I get a motion, page 190, County Motor Fuel Tax, Mingus, Crawford, discussion.
Harris. Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nels.
Yes.
Pageant. Prayer. Rich Stinson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Nay.
Sam Goddard. Graff.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Page 194, Township Road Motor Fuel Tax. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Mr. Jostings, Mr. Strahl, discussion. Call roll.
Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nels.
Yes.
Pageant. Prayer. Rich Stinson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Aye.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris. Motion passes.
Page 197, County Bridge. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Mr. Hopkins, Mrs. Prayo. Discussion. Call roll.
Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow. Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nels.
Yes.
Pageant. Prayer.
Yes.
Rich Stinson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Nay.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Hopkins. Motion passes.
Page 200, matching tax. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Stahl, Mennel, discussion. Call roll.
Longfellow,
Yes.
Mennel, Mingus, Nelms, Pageant, Frail,
Yes.
Rich Simpson,
Yes.
Schmidtall, Schneider,
Yes.
Sin,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atkins, Crawford,
Aye.
Deppert,
Yes.
Mark Goddard,
Aye.
Sam Goddard, Graff, Hall,
Yes.
Harris, Hopkins, Joseph.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Pages 203, 208, County Health Department. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Mr. Paul, Mr. Hopkins, there are some amendments that need to be made to the County Health Department line. Those would be listed on the top of page 2 of the budget adjustments. Mindy?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the amendments as listed for the county health fund.
Is there a second? Hopkins? Mindy, you wanna explain?
Sure, thank you.
Pretty straightforward.
They are, we just have a couple of adjustments that the health department provided for an expected increase in cost for vaccines and then also for software maintenance. Then they also do have, the very first item listed there is the $12,000 that you saw earlier in the health department. This is again related to the MOU between the Board of Health and the, and County General, where we will be paying the 25% of those selected expenses. So this is their receipt of it as a revenue in the health department. And we also have an increase in contingency based on the increase in expenses.
So questions on the amendment? All in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Noted, motion carried. The budget for county health as amended, is there further discussion? The vote will be for as the budget as amended. Call roll, please.
Mennel,
Yes.
Mingus,
Yes.
Nelms,
Yes.
Pageant, Frail,
Yes.
Rich Simpson,
Yes.
Schmidtall, Schneider,
Yes.
Sin,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atkins, Crawford,
Aye.
Deppert,
Yes.
Mark Goddard,
Nay.
Sam Goddard, Graff,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Harris, Hopkins,
Yes.
Josting,
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Page 218, solid waste. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Ms. Prail, Mr. Nelms, questions or discussion? Call roll.
Mingus,
Yes.
Nelms,
Yes.
Pageant, Frail,
Yes.
Rich Simpson,
Yes.
Schmidtall, Schneider,
Yes.
Sin,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atkins, Crawford,
Aye.
Deppert,
Yes.
Mark Goddard,
Nay.
Sam Goddard, Graff,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Hopkins, Josting,
Yes.
Longfellow,
Yes.
Mennel. Motion passes.
Pages 226 to 229, Veterans Assistance. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Mr. Goddard, Mr. Crawford, discussion. Goddard and Crawford.
Well,
Guy in the corner.
Mhm.
The wallflower.
Dan, did you catch that in a minute?
I'm sorry, Amy, go ahead. Okay, let me come back to it. Thank you. We've got Veterans Assistance on the floor. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye. No, oh, sorry, roll call. Go ahead.
Nelms,
Yes.
Pageant, Frail, Rich Simpson,
Yes.
Schmidtall, Schneider,
Yes.
Sin,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atkins, Crawford,
Aye.
Deppert,
Yes.
Mark Goddard,
Aye.
Sam Goddard, Graff,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Josting,
Yes.
Longfellow,
Yes.
Mennel,
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, sorry I missed one. Thanks, Amy, for letting me know. On page 222, the SIPA grant. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? By Hopkins, Crawford. Discussion?
Badger. Frail. Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Schneider. Sen.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford. Depper.
Yes.
Mark Goddard. Sam Goddard. Graff.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Harris. Hopkins. Josting. Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel. Mingus. Nelms. Pageant. Motion passes.
Page 230, animal control. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Mr. Paul, Mr. Longfellow. Discussion.
Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Snyder. Sen.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford. Depper.
Yes.
Mark Goddard. Sam Goddard. Graff.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Harris. Hopkins. Josting. Longfellow. Mennel. Mingus. Nelms. Pageant. Motion passes.
Page 237, the GIS fund. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Mr. Longfellow, Mr. Crawford. Discussion.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Schneider. Sen. Stahl. Atkins. Crawford. Depper.
Yes.
Mark Goddard. Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris. Hopkins. Josting. Longfellow. Mennel. Mingus. Nelms. Pageant. Frail. Motion passes.
Page 240, persons with developmental disabilities. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? By Nelms, second by Hopkins. Discussion. Call the roll.
Schmidtall. Schneider. Sen. Stahl. Atkins. Crawford. Depper.
Yes.
Mark Goddard. Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall. Harris. Hopkins. Josting. Longfellow. Mennel. Mingus. Nelms. Pageant. Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Page 243, the American Rescue Plan Fund. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Mr. Mennel, Mr. Longfellow, discussion?
Schneider. Sen. Stahl.
No.
Atkins. Crawford. Depper.
No.
Mark Goddard.
Nay.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall.
No.
Harris.
I wasn't listening, I'm sorry, what we vote on?
American Rescue Plan, page 243 in the book. Has a zero budget.
Hopkins. Josting. Longfellow. Mennel. Mingus. Nelms. Pageant. Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidtall. Motion passes.
No, it doesn't matter. So that'd be an interesting question for the state's attorney if we failed to pass a zero budget account. I don't know what that was.
Does it matter?
That was the question I was having. Okay, 246, National Opioid Settlement. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Frail, Jostings, discussion. Call roll.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Aye.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel. Mingus.
Yes.
Nums.
Yes.
Pageant. Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall. Schneider. Motion passes.
Page 249, can I get a motion to get the LATCF grant on the floor? Crawford and Longfellow, discussion? Call roll.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Aye.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nums.
Yes.
Pageant. Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall. Snyder.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Can I get a motion on page 252 to get the Energy Transition Community Fund grant on the floor? By Deppert, second by Mingus, discussion? Call roll.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Nay.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mann.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nums.
Yes.
Pageant. Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Page 256, Sheriff's Grant Fund. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? By Mennel, Crawford, discussion?
Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Aye.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nums.
Yes.
Pageant. Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Page 258, Treasurer's Automation. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Rich Simpson, Hopkins, discussion?
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Aye.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nums.
Yes.
Pageant. Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Page 261, Probation Upgrade. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Schneider, Crawford, discussion? Hold.
Mark Goddard.
Aye.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yep.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nums.
Yes.
Pageant. Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall. Snyder.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Page 265, Risk Management and Liability. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Mr. Hopkins, Mr. Hall, discussion.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall. Harris. Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nelms.
Yes.
Pageant. Frail. Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
No.
Depper.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Page 269, drug court fund. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Mr. Crawford, Mr. Mennel, there's 2 amendments that need to be made to that, listed on your sheet. Mr. Crawford?
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion to approve those 2 line items as an amendment to the drug court fund.
Is there a second? Mr. Hopkins? Mindy?
Or is that 1? No, it's 2. There's 2. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, we have 2 expense increases of $2,000 each. They are both due to an increase in participation in drug court programs.
Are there questions on the amendment? All those in favor of the amendment say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion on the motion as amended. We are voting for the drug court fund as amended. Call.
Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Hopkins. Josting.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Same.
Nelms.
Yes.
Pageant. Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall. Schneider.
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Depper.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Aye.
Sam Goddard. Motion passes.
Page 272, capital improvement fund. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Mr. Crawford, Ms. Pryor, Mr. Crawford, there's a couple amendments.
Yes, sir. May I make an amendment
Yes.
to include that group of group of line items? I didn't count them. Looks like about 8. Mindy will tell us. To the CIP fund.
There's 1 revenue and 7 expense line items. Is there a second to his motion? Mr. Hall. Let me word, guys. Mindy.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so for the capital improvement plan fund, this is just a shuffling of expenses that we had budgeted somewhere in fiscal year 24, fiscal year 25, and moving them into the appropriate year where they're actually going to be spent. So I say it this way because the expenses related to architectural and buildings, those are expenses that we thought would be spent a little later on in the process, so we thought they'd be in fiscal year 25, and we're moving them a little earlier. We're going to pay some bills in fiscal year 24 that relate to those expenditures that we have budgeted. And then for capital building improvements, we have $878,135 of expenditures that we had budgeted to be spent in fiscal year 24, that those projects are not done yet. We're going to spend that money in fiscal year 25, so we're pushing that money back. So that is just moving money between fiscal year 24 and 25, and so everything that's in that blue or green color, that is just a fiscal year 24 estimate that we are adjusting, and you guys don't really need to vote on that, but I put that on there so that you could see that those 2 items, they net each other out. So what I took out of architectural and moved into from one year to the next, they net to 0. So there isn't actually an increase in capital project spending. It is just a movement between the 2 years. So above that, we have one revenue, $43,907, and that is a transfer in from the general fund, and that is due to the contingency number that we have to calculate on the capital improvement plan fund. And then that very last number that's listed there is that contingency calculation We have to increase contingency because we are increasing actually the amount of money we're gonna spend out of this fund in fiscal year 25. So overall, we're not increasing the capital project expenditures, but in fiscal year 25, we are, because we're moving expenditures into 25 out of 24. I do have a slide that kind of shows that. You guys have that in front of you. And so this is just a representation. On the left side is the current budget book and how this is all displayed between the fiscal year 24 estimate and the fiscal year 25 budget. And then on the right side is the proposed adjustments that are on your sheet here. And so you can see the money moving between fiscal year 24 and fiscal year 25. That very far right column shows what is that increase over all of the movements, and it's 0, but for the transfer in from the general fund and then the contingency number. But the revenue and the expense then net to 0 as well. So there's a net 0 change. It's just moving of money around from line to line.
Are there questions? Thank you, Mindy. All in favor of the amendment, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
We are voting on the capital improvement fund as amended. Call roll.
Paul.
Yes.
Harris. Hopkins. Jostin.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel. Mingus. Nels.
Yes.
Patrick. Crail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidtl. Schneider.
Yes.
Sen. Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford. Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Nay.
Sam Goddard. Grant. Motion passes.
Page 275, Recorder's Special Document Storage. Can I get a motion to get that on the floor? Stahl. Jostings. Discussion?
Harris. Hopkins. Jostin. Longfellow. Mennel. Mingus. Nels. Pageant. Frail. Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidtl. Schneider. Sen.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford. Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Goddard.
Aye.
Sam Goddard. Graff. Hall. Motion passes.
And last but not least, Recorder's Special Document Storage Fund. Oh, we did? We did. Sorry. Never mind. Second pile. Can I get a motion to approve the annual budget ordinance shown on your special packet? Looks like this. Mr. Crawford.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to approve the annual budget ordinance for fiscal year 2025, and I would include to dispense or waive the reading of the resolution.
Is there a second? Mr. Mingus, discussion.
This is something we do every year in regards to our adoption of the levies. It does not appropriate or levy any money, but it's required by law. That's why we do it.
Well, it was also a blanket approval of what we've just done, and it saved us last year in that marathon meeting we had last year. We missed one, and this document covered us last year. So it's an important document to do. Is there further discussion or any other questions?
Hopkins. Hopkins. Jostin. Longfellow. Mennel. Mingus. Nels. Pageant. Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall. Schneider. Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Guthrie. Sam Guthrie. Graff. Hall. Harris. Motion passes.
Moving on then to the general fund tax levy. Mr. Crawford.
I'm gonna follow the same format for all these. It's the same format I've followed for the last 10 years or more. So I'm going to be waiving the reading of the resolution and include three things: the name of the fund, the year of the fund, and the amount of the levy. So this will be County General Fund 2025 for $7,290,818.
Is there a second to his motion? Mrs. Frail, is there discussion? Mr. Snyder?
Just a clarification, are we starting all of our levies now? Is that what we're doing? Is that we're gonna go through each one, correct? Okay. Just a point I wanted to make, I made this point last year in a tentative budget. What lays before us again is another tax increase. We have historically high fund balances, we have record revenue, and I will just not support another Tazewell County tax increase. And that's all.
Mr. Goddard?
I'm not gonna vote, I'm gonna vote no on any tax increases for the people of Tazewell County. It's not right, it's not the right time, and I hope some other, board members will join me in voting no.
Other discussion? Mr. Crawford?
All the members have a right to do whatever they want, but to me, it would have been much more meaningful had those members who have an objection to object it at the place in the budgets that they found exceeding expense being appropriated. Now, some of the members who are involved here did vote no on a lot of those, and I respect that. But it really helps to find out what you don't like, just not the fact that it's higher, but which line items are higher and why. That really helps, I think, your own constituents and anybody who's trying to figure out why you voted the way you did. Thanks.
Other comments?
Jostin.
Yes.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus. Nelms.
Yes.
Pageant. Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall. Schneider.
No.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
No.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Nope.
Mark Guthrie.
Nay.
Sam Guthrie. Graff.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Hopkins. Motion passes.
Mr. Deppert, would you clarify your vote?
No.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
I heard you. IMRF levy, Mr. Crawford.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the municipal retirement fund for 2025 levy in the amount of $1,435,630.
Is there a second? Ms. Frail, discussion. Call roll.
Longfellow.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Mingus.
Yes.
Nelms.
Yes.
Pageant. Frail.
Yes.
Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall. Schneider.
Yeah. No.
Sin. Wait.
No, sorry.
Sin.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Atkins. Crawford.
Aye.
Deppert.
Yes.
Mark Guthrie.
Nay.
Sam Guthrie. Graff. Hall.
Yes.
Harris. Hopkins? Josting?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Social Security tax levy, Mr. Crawford.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the Social Security Contributions Fund for the fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $1,367,756.
Is there a second? Mr. Hall, is there discussion?
Mennel?
Yes.
Mingus?
Yes.
Nellens?
Yes.
Pageant? Braille?
Yes.
Rich Stinson?
Yes.
Schmidtall? Schneider?
No.
Sin?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Atkins? Crawford?
Aye.
Deppert?
Yes.
Mark Goddard?
Nay.
Sam Goddard? Graff? Hall?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Josting?
Yes.
Longfellow?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the highway tax levy, Mr. Crawford, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, motion to approve the county highway fund for fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $2,085,089.
Is there a second? Mr. Mennel, discussion? Call roll.
Mingus?
Yes.
Nellens?
Yes.
Pageant? Braille?
Yes.
Rich Stinson?
Yes.
Schmidtall? Schneider?
No.
Sin?
Yes.
Stahl?
No.
Atkins? Crawford?
Aye.
Deppert?
Yes.
Mark Goddard?
Nay.
Sam Goddard? Graff? Hall? Harris? Hopkins? Josting?
Yes.
Longfellow? Mennel?
Yes.
Motion passes.
County Bridge Federal, or Fund Tax Levy, Mr. Crawford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd make a motion to approve the levy ordinance for the county bridge fund for 2025 fiscal year in the amount of $932,854.
Is there a second? Mr. Hall, is there discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
I'm sorry.
That's different than what we got in our tax. Does the meaning amend, does the amendment cover? Page 8 of 14.
Are you, can I ask Nancy, are you reading from the budget document or the levy ordinance?
I'm reading from the packet that we were sent, and we've done an amendment. So, I think we're safe on that, because we've already done an amendment. But the number in here is $910,000. That's before the amendment, right?
The correct number is $910,952.
That's not what we read.
No, I read the one in the levy ordinance, which was $932,854, but that could be wrong. I read the,
Are you in matching tax?
no, we're on county bridge, that's what you call.
County bridge, 932.
Matching tax is next.
I'm sorry, I apologize, I read it wrong.
Okay,
932.
I'll buy you a drink, Nancy.
Should have done it before.
Yes, we should have.
I apologize.
That's okay. Is there other discussion? All in favor, excuse me, go ahead.
Nellens?
Yes.
Pageant? Braille?
Yes.
Rich Simpson?
Yes.
Schmidtall? Snyder?
No.
Sin?
Yes.
Stahl?
No.
Atkins? Crawford?
Aye.
Deppert?
Yes.
Mark Goddard?
Nay.
Sam Goddard? Graff? Harris? Hall?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Hopkins? Josting?
Yes.
Longfellow?
Yes.
Mennel?
Yes.
Mingus?
Yes.
Motion passes.
County Highway Matching Fund Tax. Mr. Crawford.
Nancy, this is gonna be familiar. So it's the county highway matching tax fund for fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $910,854. $952.
Is there a second? Mrs. Pray.
Yes.
Thank you. Is there discussion?
Patrick, Trail,
Yes.
Rich Simpson,
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall, Schneider,
No.
Sin,
Yes.
Stahl,
No.
Atkins, Crawford,
Aye.
Deppert,
Yes.
Mark Goddard,
Nay.
Sam Goddard, Graff, Hall, Harris, Hopkins, Justin, Longfellow, Mennel,
Yes.
Mingus,
Yes.
Nelms. Motion passes.
County Health Fund tax levy. Mr. Crawford.
Yes, a motion to approve the county health fund for fiscal year, in the resolution said 2023, it was, sure it's a typo, 2025 it should read, and, in the amount, the levy, tax amount of $1,125,858.
Is there a second? Mr. Sin, can I get a motion, just for clarification, to amend that resolution so it says fiscal year 2025?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow, Mr. Crawford, is there discussion on the motion? All in favor of the amendment, say aye. Opposed? The motion is amended to reflect 2025, that typo there.
Good idea.
Back to discussion on the levy. Is there any questions? This would be a call to question on the levy as amended. Go ahead, call roll.
Trail,
Yes.
Rich Simpson,
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall, Schneider,
No.
Sin,
Yes.
Stahl,
No.
Atkins, Crawford,
Aye.
Deppert, Mark Goddard,
Nay.
Sam Goddard, Graff,
Yes.
Hall, Harris, Hopkins, Justin, Longfellow,
Yes.
Mennel, Mingus,
Yes.
Nelms, Patrick. Motion passes.
Veterans Assistance, Mr. Crawford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to approve the Veterans Assistance Fund for fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $366,820.
Is there a second? Mr. Stimson, is there questions? Call roll.
Rich Simpson,
Yes.
Schmidt-Gall, Schneider,
No.
Sin,
Yes.
Stahl,
No.
Atkins, Crawford,
Aye.
Deppert, Mark Goddard,
Aye.
Sam Goddard, Graff, Hall, Harris, Hopkins, Justin, Longfellow,
Yes.
Mennel,
Yes.
Mingus,
Yes.
Nelms, Patrick, Trail.
Yes.
Motion passes.
PDD, Mr. Crawford.
Mentally deficient person, I'm sorry, I want to read it right. Persons with Developmental Disabilities Fund for the year 2025, the amount of the levy is $525,796.
Is there a second? Mr. Mennel, discussion. Call roll.
Schmidt-Gall, Schneider,
No.
Sin,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atkins, Crawford,
Aye.
Deppert,
Yes.
Mark Goddard,
Aye.
Sam Goddard, Graff, Hall, Harris, Hopkins, Justin, Longfellow,
Yes.
Mennel,
Yes.
Mingus,
Yes.
Nelms, Patrick, Trail, Rich Simpson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Liability Risk Management Tax Levy, Mr. Crawford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Motion to approve the Liability and Risk Management Fund for the year 2025 in the amount of $1,295,405.
Is there a second? Mr. Jostings, is there discussion?
Schneider,
No.
Sin,
Yes.
Stahl,
No.
Atkins, Crawford,
Aye.
Deppert,
Yes.
Mark Goddard,
Nay.
Sam Goddard, Graff, Hall, Harris, Hopkins, Josting, Longfellow,
Yes.
Mennel, Mingus, Nelms, Paget, Trail,
Yes.
Rich Simpson,
Yes.
Schmidtall. Motion passes.
UI Extension Tax Levy. Go ahead, Mr. Crawford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The University of Illinois Extension Fund for the fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $151,000.
Is there a second? Mr. Sin, is there discussion? For the last time, call the roll.
Sin,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atkins, Crawford,
Aye.
Deppert,
Yes.
Mark Goddard,
Nay.
Sam Goddard, Graff,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Harris, Hopkins, Josting, Longfellow,
Yes.
Mennel,
Yes.
Mingus,
Yes.
Nelms, Paget, Trail,
Yes.
Rich Simpson, Schmidtall, Schneider.
No.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I couldn't remember whether we passed this as a resolution. It's the Truth in Taxation Certificate of Compliance. But I talked to Mr. Holly and he said we probably should pass it as a resolution. So I would make a motion to approve the Truth in Taxation Certificate of Compliance for, actually this year, 2024. And the marked item that I need to read into the minutes is the second item, which is the taxing district's aggregate levy did not exceed a 5% increase over the prior year's extension. Therefore, a hearing was not held. I would make that in the form of a motion.
Been moved, is there a second? Mr. Hall, is there discussion on the motion? So sorry, one last time.
Under discussion, I would add that in my early years, we always held a taxation hearing, even if we didn't legally need to. We just thought it was sort of, we'd publish it and any citizen who could come and question anything in the budget, and, you know, it was mostly for the taxpayers, even though it wasn't required by law, but it's probably a good idea. I agree with Mr. Holly, we should do it.
Further discussion?
Stahl,
Yes.
Atkins, Crawford,
Aye.
Deppert,
Yes.
Mark Goddard,
Aye.
Sam Goddard, Graff, Hall,
Yes.
Harris, Hopkins, Josting,
Yes.
Longfellow,
Yes.
Mennel,
Yes.
Mingus,
Yes.
Nelms, Paget, Trail,
Yes.
Rich Simpson,
Yes.
Schmidtall, Schneider,
Yes.
Sin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you to the Budget Department, both of you, for all the work you've done on this, and all the department heads and all the county board members who worked on this. I appreciate it very much. Mr. Harris, go ahead.
I have a question on page 281. I know it's informational funds, so we have nothing to do with it. But my question is, it shows a $796,753 deficit for the year, and there's no fund balance or anything to cover that. How does that get covered?
Which fund is it, Mike?
It's the total of all funds. Informational funds, revenue expenses, fund balance.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, okay, so we would not show a fund balance that is a compilation on like the special revenue funds or the informational funds, like summary page. We don't show any fund balance there. We show the fund balance within the fund itself. So if you flip to page 282, that is the Circuit Clerk Automation Fund. And that particular fund shows that it is spending down that fund balance by $339,340 in fiscal year 25. And that is part of the total spend down that you're seeing, that you're talking about, the $796,753 that's on that summary sheet. So it's just a combination of all the funds and their revenues and expenses go into that front roll-up sheet. So you'd have to look at each fund individually to see how that is. And it isn't a bad thing or unheard of to do a planned spend down of a fund. But when we had our budget meetings, we did discuss all informational funds with the department head that was responsible for them. So these things were looked at and talked about in those department meetings. We just don't discuss them in the actual budget meetings.
Who's Mike? Chairman Zimmerman.
I just wanted to thank you, Nick, and the entire finance committee, Kelly, and Mindy, and Mike for a great job. I know not all the votes were unanimous, but again, I know how this board can vote and then just come together. So just thank you for your efforts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No further business. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Just two items. I echo that sentiment for the finance department, and also we are very close to finishing up the improvements in the Broadway building. So we are announcing that we are having the ribbon cutting ceremony on November 19th. It's a Tuesday at 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. The ribbon cutting ceremony will start at 3:15. So we're excited to be able to show off the new facility.
Mr. Crawford.
In deference, even though I voted yes on almost all funds, but some of my friends voted no. And in behalf of them, I have a question. And that is, and I guess this might be for Mindy or Nick or Michael. I kept track of the tentative budget that we passed last month for the county general fund. And it was $40,751,577. The county general fund we passed tonight was $50,429,852. That's $10 million increase from tentative budget. My question is, was that a bunch of little stuff, or was there a big chunk that made up that 10 million? Thanks.
I think you might perhaps be looking at the total expenditures before transfers in the tentative budget, and not the actual. I don't actually have tentative budget right in front of me, if you look at in your book right now on page 59, that far column where it shows total expenditures is $50,261,360. But if you go two up, you see total expenditures before transfers of $40,752,297. I think you were maybe looking at the wrong line.
I think you're right. Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Anything else? Thank you for your time. We are in recess.